So let me ask you this: Can either of you share a pivotal moment earlier in your career that pushed you to keep going, even though the odds were? I know you talked about when all the foreclosures were going on. Is there any specific thing that you kind of had to push through? Any perseverance that you can kind of share with our audience?
Well, I'm not as good as Marco. It took me about 4 years before I started even breaking even, because times it was difficult. You know, as I was kind of teasing earlier, it sounds wonderful, but it's a lot more complicated than you even can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many, when you get into it, you've got so many people and different businesses throwing you ideas, spend this, spend that, spend that.
Oh, yeah.
And so you have to kind of go through a little bit of that before you can really settle down onto what really works.
Right.
Because even today, we probably get about 4 or 5 different entities trying to sell you something.
Yeah.
Well,
Marketing.
the one thing that I always like to say is theory is not reality in business.
Yes.
If theory was, we all would be working for ourselves, right?
Yes.
So what you have to focus on is what really works, and what works today doesn't always work tomorrow.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So, so you're into it. You've got so much time into it
Mm-hmm.
that you don't want to give up. You know, if you're 2-3 years into it, and you're talking 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
And so you sit there and go, oh, I got way too much time. This has got, and then you see your other people that have been in it for a while, and you can see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it isn't necessarily a train.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of
Keep chipping away.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was that was a pivotal moment where I started learning about the industry at that time, where we were going through a change, and I didn't know it. I was familiar. I was like, okay, so this is real estate where there's these many foreclosures, and there was brokers focused on just foreclosures at the time.